So let's look at more example of derivative function. Okay, look at this example. So y equal to x squared times 2 to the x minus 2 times x e to the x plus 2 times e to the x. Okay, so this one, as you see, we have 1, 2, 3 different terms. So we do each term derivative separately. Later we combine them. If we can find maybe common factor, and then we simplify. Okay, so in order to do so, we need to look at each term and then try to derivative. So this one shows that x squared times e to the x. So we need to do product rules, right? So a equal to x squared and b equal to e to the x. Then a prime equal to 2 to the x and b prime e to the x. You cross multiply, then this become x squared e to the x plus 2x e to the x. I'm going to leave like that, even though I can find common factor x e to the x, because based on other term we may do something else together. And second term here, so this becomes minus 2 times also product rule. So a equal to x and b equal to e to the x. So a prime 1, b prime e to the x, which means negative 2 cross multiply, then x e to the x plus e to the x, and then the last term, this one here, this will be plus 2 times e to the x. Okay, as we know, derivative e to the x means e to the x, so I just keep as is, and then now I can combine them all together. So dy over dx, this becomes x squared e to the x plus 2x e to the x minus 2x e to the x minus 2 e to the x and plus 2 e to the x. Okay, so now I want to find out any common factor we can simplify. So when I look at this, I can cancel out this and this and this and this, right? Okay, so the leftover factor, it becomes dy over dx equal to x squared e to the x. That will be the answer for this problem. Okay, so let's continue next problem. So y equal to e to the x times sine x plus cosine x. So these questions, so you may think we better distribute and do that. That's one method too. That's correct. However, this is already e to the x times sin x plus cosine x, that combined form. So I rather to start using the product rule from here. Okay, so a equal to e to the x and b equal to sine x plus cosine x. Okay, then a prime become e to the x, and then b prime becomes cosine x minus sin x. So last time we confirmed that the C family, trigonometry C family, if you derivative, then we got always negative sign. Now cross multiply, then dy over dx becomes e to the x cosine x minus sin x plus e to the x sin x plus cosine x. Now we want to simplify, so distribute, then this become e to the x cosine x minus e to the x sin x plus e to the x sine x plus e to the x cosine x. Now look at this expression carefully, whether you have anything to simplify. Actually, I see these two canceled out. And then those are same term and the same sign, so we can combine them. Therefore, dy over dx, this term becomes 2 times e to the x cosine x. That will be the answer for this problem. Okay? Question, so fx equal to ln x over x squared plus 1. Okay, so in this case, f prime x becomes, first of all, 1 over whole thing here, which is x over x squared plus 1, multiply derivative of inside one here. So I'm going to make this quotient rule. So top equal to x, bottom equal to x squared plus 1, and t prime 1, b prime 2x. Always this one first, so which means x squared plus 1 minus x times 2x, which means x squared plus 1 minus 2x squared, so 1 minus x squared. That will be multiply expression. Okay, now in this case, basically 1 over x squared plus 1, the same thing is x squared plus 1 over x, right? So I can rewrite this, that equal to x squared plus 1 over x times 1 minus x squared. Okay, so this case I'm gonna just expand this one, then x squared minus x fourth plus 1 minus x squared over x. As you see, we can cancel this and this, so the final answer f prime x becomes 1 minus x fourth over x. That will be the answer for this problem. So let's continue one more last problem. Then this case we have e to the e cubed times ln x. Here you see e cubed, which means constant value. Don't think this is the function, so you have to leave it as is. So in this case, f prime x equal to e to the cube times derivative of this one, which is 1 over x. Okay, therefore f prime x equal to e to the cube over x. But what if the function is given, just in case? What if the function is given? I'm going to just write different function forms so you won't be confused. E to the x times ln x. It is possible too, right? Okay, then in this case, because those two are multiplying each other, you have to use the product rule. So I'm going to say a equal to e to the x and b equal to ln x. Then a prime e to the x and b prime 1 over x, and you cross multiply. Therefore, g prime x becomes e to the x times 1 over x plus e to the x times ln x. Therefore, g prime x becomes e to the x over x plus e to the x ln x. That's the answer. Or you can factor this out or combine by common denominator. Then g prime x equal to e to the x plus x e to the x ln x over x. That will be the answer. Some of you may want to simplify more, even more, like a factoring. Then g prime x, it can be e to the x 1 plus x ln x over x. They all three are the final answer. So you can choose this answer over this answer over this answer. Okay?